always had that something in you where you wanted to strive for better. So describe for me, what has your journey been like in life?
The journey it's been very hard because, I was on public assistance, so it was like, at first it was a boundary there. Anybody knows about public assistance, they don't want you to go so far or they're gonna cut it off.
When you describe yourself now, tell me, who's Freddie Stevenson, the man that you are now?
A few years ago, I remember in college, they would always have speakers come in and ask us who we are. I wouldn't have been able to answer the question. It probably would have had something to do with football. I'm a fullback for Florida State. I want to play in the NFL. But now it's just simple. I'm Freddie Stevenson, man of purpose.
This is a passion of mine. The whole premise behind the Jazzie Conversations with Jazz podcast is to spotlight the fact that it is now time for you to get your dope comeback story.
Hey, say Jazzie Conversations with Jazz. Jazzie Conversations with Jazz. Say Jazzie Conversations with Jazz. Jazzie Conversations with Jazz.
Every Monday, I call people into a studio and we dig into their comeback stories, because I know that we see people in their glory and we see people when they're on top, when they can have that silver lining to them, but we all go through some things, right? We all go through some things, and I think once we're real with people and we let people know the trials and tribulations that we've gone through, it only makes us human and it connects one of us.
So I just want to know, what would be your advice to someone who is looking to start their own podcast?
First and foremost, let me back up. Find your voice. What are you going to talk about? Is it something that people want to listen to? How long will your podcast be? What's going to be the consistency of your podcast? Are you going to do it like weekly, daily? Are you going to do it monthly? So once you find that, because that's going to indicate if somebody wants to listen to your podcast or not.
I do know how I'm doing it. I'm doing it with God. I'm doing it because this is a passion of mine. And when you are passionate about something, you're not going to stop. So it really it comes down to how bad do you want it. It definitely comes down to how bad do you want it. Happy Monday, Jazzie crew. Today is a fantastic Monday, June 16th, 2025. You are here because you believe in the power of the comeback, just like I do. And you know that we can make a comeback from anything with God, the right resources, your willingness to use those resources effectively, and your ability to put in the necessary work. And so we do all three of those things right here on this podcast to make a successful comeback. All right. And so what I need for you to do before we go any further, I need for you to make sure that you are subscribing, you are following, and that you are engaging in this conversation. This is interactive. So any questions that you have, any comments that you have, I will be able to share them with the audience. I want you to hit that subscribe button. I want you to make sure that you hit that notifications bell so that you can be notified whenever there's new content with this podcast. And definitely again, engage and share out. All right. Share this episode because it is going to be an entertaining and informative session tonight. I have someone very special on that I'm going to bring on in just a few minutes. But before I do that, I just want to give some thank yous from my hosting assignments this past weekend. So this past weekend, I hosted a myriad of events. By the way, to book me, all you have to do is send me an email at jasmar1050@gmail.com. That's JASMAR 1050@gmail.com. I host a plethora, a myriad of events, multifaceted. So if you need a great host for your event, definitely book me. So thank you so much to TIPA for booking me to host their teen summit. I hosted a 50th wedding vow renewal ceremony, which was amazing. So, congratulations to 50 years to the Polite family. And also, thank you so much to the beautiful city of Winter Haven, Florida, for having me as your MC for the 5th annual Juneteenth celebration. So, all of those events were under my belt this weekend. So, I was pretty busy. But I'm back here right now with you on this fantastic Monday. All right. So without further ado, I want to introduce you to my guest for episode 155. I keep saying it and I'm like, guys, can you believe that we are at this point? We are at episode 155. Like, it's unreal. But listen, it's going to be fun. Now, this person, we will tell you how we met when I bring him on the screen. But for my special guest, I have Mr. Norman Harris. He is the founder and CEO of Comfort Measures Consulting LLC. He is a passionate healthcare professional, licensed nursing home administrator, and an advocate for aging adults and their families. His journey into healthcare, into elder care, started when he was only 8 years old. He was volunteering alongside his grandmother, who was an evangelist who ministered to residents in nursing homes. From those early days, he's been committed to bringing families smiles, love, peace, and most importantly, comfort to the lives of aging adults, which is that critical age group where we all should show comfort and care. So with over 9 years of experience in healthcare and administration, he's built a reputation for solving problems, leading with his heart, and fostering team oriented supportive environments. He's successfully reduced employee turnover, improved census management, and created workspaces where compassion and fun go hand in hand, all while prioritizing exceptional care for patients, families, and associates. Now, finding his passion and following God's purpose birth Comfort Measures Consulting, a business that the mission is very, very clear. The mission is to improve the continuum of care by providing advocacy to caregivers and aging adults while supporting independent, privately owned healthcare practices through strategic marketing and community outreach efforts. He offers services in the following, because there's a lot and I want you to definitely pick his brain: business development, marketing and visibility services, personalized consultations through their critical care resolution calls, senior living placement assistance. He's known for keynote speaking engagements, and he just so happens to be a fellow podcast host. He is the host of Let's Get Comfy podcast, Florida's #1 healthcare edutainment show, empowering listeners with the knowledge and resources to age remarkably. So, what I want you to do is put your hands together. I know that you can do it. For my special guest for episode 155, we are also celebrating all the dope fathers out there, which he happens to be one. Give it up for my special guest, Mr. Norman Harris. How you doing, Norman?
What's up? What's up? How you doing? How you doing?
I'm
Wow, that
doing
was an incredible
fantastically
introduction.
well.
I really appreciate
Listen,
that for
because
sure.
you are an incredible person. Why would we not do an incredible introduction for you? So how are you doing, sir?
I'm doing pretty good after that. I was over here smiling. I was like, I shouldn't have sent her all that. But yeah,
Yes,
but yeah, I appreciate it, bro. I feel real good. Feel
you
real honored. Thank
should.
you so much for having me.
You're most welcome. I just our this episode truly is the testament of the power of the internet, the power of networking and socializing on social media, because just by us putting out a post one day, talking, commenting, and just saying, wow, we're like-minded people, turned into a conversation that led us to realize that we are both rattlers. So all the rattlers in the building, happy Monday, all of our, family out there. And so once you do that, what I always tell people is the incredible thing about going to school, if people want to know, well, what's the importance of college or what's the importance of networking? Sometimes barriers are broken pretty much all of the time when you connect with someone, especially if you tell someone, for instance, I'm a rattler. If you tell somebody I'm a rattler, there's about 10 levels that you elevate on in this game of life. Like you just automatically pass go, right? So we had that opportunity to just
Yeah.
connect on that level. And so from there, the conversation just became organic and like that true family kicked in. And it's like I ended up being a guest on your podcast, which was amazing. Like Norman is so professional. From giving you the rundown of what the show was going to be about, from the setup to the podcast to the editing to the hosting to the interviewing skills to
Thank you.
filming. And that's where I knew you were a family man there because, you know, you had your wife there, your two beautiful girls were there. It was just a family affair. And so I just want to say it is just a great opportunity to be in your space. And I truly appreciate everything, the conversations, the networking that has occurred so far. So thank you for being dope.
Well, thank you so much. I wish I could speak as eloquently as you do, but yeah, I appreciate it, man. It was very important for me to start my platform with my family involved and my kids. I want to stay grounded and have that foundation from the beginning. Uh, the number one, Florida's number one healthcare edutainment station. That's really a manifestation. So I want to build it with what's valuable to me.
That's amazing. So we know that Father's Day just came around, and I just want you to tell me, how was your Father's Day? And then tell me, if you had to describe the type of father you are, how would you put that into words?
Yeah. So, what type of father I am?
Yes,
And I apologize. I know I probably have a major connection issues.
that's
Uh,
okay.
can you hear me?
I can
Okay.
hear you.
All
Yep.
right. Type of father, I say like probably 80% love, 20% discipline. That's probably what type of dad I am. I give a lot of love and joy. Um, I'm have two girls, so you can't be real like tough on them like I really want to be.
Yeah.
Like I would treat probably a boy, but at the same time, discipline and respect is a must. So pretty much my role, like far as marriage wise, is for my kids with raising them is really instilling principles and morals. Work ethic. One thing I can't really stand is somebody like lazy people. You know,
Yeah.
but and my wife is really the educator. So she enjoys educating and she has the patience for it. I don't really have patience, so
Yeah.
she probably better suited for that.
What? So I can picture you like in my mind I picture you being like the fun dad, but I can tell that you're very firm and you're very structured, and I don't know, like I just see
Yeah,
you having
yeah,
fun with your girls.
yeah. All the time. I mean, they like being with daddy, and they love their daddy. So that's
Yeah.
that's uh that's probably most important is for them to understand that I'm here for them and I love them and I enjoy them. Honestly, that's what I do all of this for is to build a legacy and to have enable them to have an avenue, outside of whatever career choice they choose. So that's really why that's the fuel behind me.
Yeah. Yeah. So did you have a great example of the father you wanted to become from your father?
Yes, yes, for sure. My dad probably he definitely was more of disciplined than I am,
Yeah.
but my dad is showing a lot of love too. So I would say my dad is probably percentage wise, probably 50-50 with him, but my daddy always like he tell me he loved me, he hugged me, so he showed affection, so a lot of males I was raised with or friends and everything, they really didn't have really a daddy in their lives, but also a male that'll show affection like that. So,
Yeah. And so with you having two girls, like with you having two girls, you
did you
have
hear?
to, it's like you have to be like affectionate, I think more so than you would like probably if you had a boy. Like those girls need that nurturing side of it. So how do you let that come out as being like Papa Bear? Like, all right, like what do you do to show your nurturing side?
That's natural to me. Like so, hugs and kisses, I give. That's part for me. That's really my love language, honestly. So,
Yeah.
and then I don't know, my girls, they like
Yeah.
to hug me anyway, so it comes
Yeah.
natural. That's not a hard thing for me at all. I show a
Yeah.
lot of love. That's what I enjoy doing the most. But
Yeah.
I always believe in rewards, and that's pretty much it. Like with kids, it's just positive reinforcement. When it's time to discipline, and be be not be afraid to be disciplined. Stand on
Yeah.
your word. That's what I
Yeah.
do. I mean, but at the same time, people tell me all the time, like, wait till they get older. So I don't want to talk too soon either.
Listen, because like, well, so how old are your girls? Because I was gonna go right into that question. Like, how old are your girls?
10 and 4.
Okay, so 10 and 4. So they're spaced out just like my boys are, with the age difference. And so, but like when you're raising girls,
Mm-hmm.
like, do you find yourself like what do you tell them about boys? Because I don't want to say men. What do you tell them about boys at this age? Like, what are you telling them and how to conduct themselves as young girls? What you telling them? I want to be a fly on the wall.
Well, uh, I really just really since they was like 1 years old, like I always instilled in them to, and we used to do this little talk to daddy. So ever since they was little, both of them, I always did that with them. Don't be afraid to talk to daddy.
Oh, I
So
love
about those conversations, like my 10-year old, she is. Thank you. She getting to where she talk about those things, but she's not really there yet. So I kind of like gonna let him introduce that question because she asks me questions all the time. So I just be transparent with her. But that's really it. I don't really talk about boys unless they talk about it
Yeah,
right
yeah,
now.
yeah. I totally get it. I totally get it. And so I just I saw you in action a little bit, like I said before, when I was on set with you, when you had your girls there. Ironically, I had my boys there. It's like you had them in their space in the capacity that you needed them in, and then I had my boys in the space in the capacity that I needed them in. And so I could pick up just from your relationship that you guys have a pretty solid relationship. And so when I was thinking of men to ask on the podcast to represent great fathers, I was like, let me tap into Norman because he's a family man and he represents what I feel most families should have. More so than anything, I'm such a proponent to keeping a household together. So, you're married, you have your kids. And so, not all families are perfect in terms of that structure, but it is so important that my messaging in the month of June and when it comes to fathers, it's just, whether or not you're in the house or you're outside of the house, like you have to definitely prioritize spending time with your kids more so, or I would say equally, than just spending money on your kids, but it's about what are those kids going to remember? The lessons. Will they remember the lessons? Will they remember the time that
Yeah.
you spent with them? I think they're going to remember those things more than what they would remember when it comes to, oh, I gave your mom support for this, or I took you, to this place to spend money on you here. It's about having that balance. So I said,
Yeah.
yeah, let me tag Norman to come on this podcast and talk about fatherhood for the fathers out there.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. You gave me an easy topic too. So I was like, good. Yeah, let me talk about that. you know. But but yeah, really honestly, it's just I just be home. Like staying home, like being around your kids. Like that's something I learned from my dad. Like it keep you out of trouble. It keep you out of like just getting into different things you shouldn't be like as a father, as a man in general. So I really enjoy being around my kids. So, and
Yeah,
that's probably why, but also too is I take, their lives very important, very seriously in
yeah,
raising them, like, so I never, like, even really like to the day, like I don't want any more kids because it's a lot to really pour into your
but I'm
child.
done.
Yeah, I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. Seriously, I'm done. But yeah, it takes a lot to pour into your kid. Like, I mean, some people embrace like parenthood, and
Yeah,
I like parenthood as well. But like they go through all them steps again, man. Waking up at night and teach them how to tie the shoes. Like you have to teach them everything, bro.
everything.
So everything. So yeah, everything. So it's a different type of approach that I took to really being a father, and I really coming from where I'm from. I saw as a man growing up the value of having my dad around, and I knew what routes and different things I could have done that he shielded me from. So I used to be mad with him all the time. All the time I was mad at my dad. So and uh and like a lot of my friends didn't have like the fathers around fully. So I used
Yeah,
to be wishing that I was like them because I could have more freedom.
yeah,
But ultimately that wasn't the thing to have. And I was shaped a lot by having a father. So I think that same approach with my kids is that's the approach I take.
yeah.
But
As a father, are there some milestones with your girls that you are looking forward to? Like you can't wait to experience?
mm, really, I don't know. I never thought of that's a good question actually. I never thought about like milestones. Honestly, I really no, there's really no milestones.
Man, let me tell
Probably
you.
I would say seeing them like what route they take as far as a career.
Yeah,
I hope to and I pray to be able to, have comfort measures consulting just build out as an organization where they have an option to, come on as a producer for CMC Media or be a host of their own show or branding, whatever aspect they decide to take. But
yeah,
or they can just, go on and choose their own career path.
yeah, yeah. Listen, I love that so much that you said that you are creating a space where you are thinking about longevity, not only with you building this business, but you are looking at different spaces and opportunities that it can create for your family. Bam, thank you so much for checking in. I appreciate it. Um, I was riding around in the car today, which by the way, Norman, driving, teaching them how to drive should not be a milestone that you're looking forward to. I just came off of a drive with my child and he did really good. I'm very proud of him. I had to be all calm and collected, and I'm like, it ain't no small car that he's learning how to drive in with me because I have an SUV now. So I'm just like, Lord Jesus, keep us safe, Lord. Let me just give him all the confidence that he needs. And he did really good. But I'm like, I was like, oh Lord. But we did it. We did it. And so
Mhm. Yeah.
when I'm taking them on these hosting gigs with me, when I'm taking them when they've been behind the scenes with me with my podcast since the very first episode. And so now I'm hearing my son say he wants to be a videographer, he wants to be an editor or some sort of engineer, a mechanical engineer. Like, it just brings joy to me. And I'm like, yo, people have always said, like, Jazz, you're looking for a team, but you have your team right there. So it's just to see where it's something that I created, and this could possibly, or it will be, an avenue where he actually can get revenue from it just by learning from me. And so I get it. So I wish the same thing for your girls, because you are building something powerful.
Yeah, yeah. You know, I tell people your story that you shared on the podcast. I don't remember it like, exactly how you said it, but you said your parent, when you were young, used to go to a pageant or I
Yep,
forget
the
what it
Ebony
was,
Fashion
but
Show.
you saw like you saw a host there, and just by seeing that person, it just really kind of dictated what choice you made in life as far as career.
Yeah.
So just the interactions, you think your kids not listening when they on their iPads and
So I'm gonna let Norman come back on. It may be the connection there, but yes, like when we think that our kids are not listening, and Norman, I know you can still hear me. Just log back on, and you'll be fine. When you think that your kids are not listening to you, your kids are definitely listening to you. They are watching you. They are eventually gonna model what you do, and so just like how we grew up, and now that we are the parents, like, you know how those posts say we cannot be the new adults. Like, we are in fact the new adults. And it's like with me, from snacks to mannerisms, to the things that I say, to the things that I eat, I don't like, etc. All of that stuff has been definitely influenced by my parents. And like just what Norman was saying, and you're good, like what Norman was saying, like we think that the kids don't watch. Oh, they watch everything that we do. And it's like we have such a huge influence on them that it is just very critical that we take parenting very seriously. And so, the type of man that you want your daughter to end up with, or the type of man that you want your son to become, is critical with what you show them in their younger years, because they are like sponges. We always hear that analogy, but it is so serious. Like, you pick up things from your parents that you don't even think you're going to pick up. And it's just like, it's just innate because it's in your environment, and you tend to mimic things that you see in your environment. So that's what I'm talking about. Look, we flexible around here, Norman.
so you can hear me well now?
Yeah, I can. Yeah.
Man, this live stream about this. Y'all about to see my attitude on here. Like, for real, man. It's about to make me mad.
It's okay. It's okay. I feel you. Look, this is not for the faint of heart, right? Like, people ask me all the time, they're like, Jazz, oh my gosh, how do you do it? How do you do it live? And I'm just like, I just roll with it. Like, it works. Like, it's just, that's just the way that it is. And so I know that,
I'm sorry too for that, all that.
no, don't apologize for that. You're absolutely fine. You are a part of my Jazzy crew. My Jazzy crew out there, they're good. Like, they're still, attentive. And so, and then they're gonna come back and watch the replay over and over. So it'll be absolutely fine. But you started with stating that, with what you are building, you're building something where your girls can come back and they can grow, they can create their own show, they can create their own platform, they can produce it. It is something that you are passing down from generations. And that, to me, that is such a boss move. And just watching you move, watching you come up with these brilliant ideas on how to elevate your business, on how to make sure that you are being the provider for your family. That is what this is all about. And you're not just doing it for self to say, oh, I want to become a millionaire or a billionaire by myself. You are doing this for your family. So I think that's paramount. And so I'm gonna start from the emblem to your shirt. This is the time I'm gonna give you to just pop your collar, and I want you to start telling me about the idea of how Comfort Measures Consulting was birthed because we did hear the story. It came from you being an 8-year old, going around with your grandmother who was in the ministry and just checking after elderly people. I don't know if I told you this, but my mom, she was a nurse in elder care. So like that was me after school. Like after school, I was at her job. Like some of my best friends were some like elderly patients of hers. Like I knew them. And so like that is near and dear to me as well. So tell us about, the inception of your business, and then where are you trying to take it? What's going on with it?
Yeah, so confirmation consulting really started with me just like on my 35th birthday. I just made up in my mind that I was like, man, I'm 35 years old and I'm still talking about what I could be doing or should be doing, or visions and all those things. I'm not really a risk taker. I don't like losing money.
Yeah,
So, but how you gonna be a business owner if you don't want to take them risks? So
right.
I had to like really just look at myself and say, you know what, I'm gonna do it. Like I'm stop doing all this talking. Like one person that I really admired from afar growing up was my grandfather. He has a very prominent name in where we're from in Quincy, on a skating rink, body shop. He's on apartment complexes, a barber shop. Um, what else he's on? Like he's a daycare, so he's on multiple things.
Yeah.
But in my mind, this is no slight to him because he actually, not doing too well. So, but I just feel like I think my granddad had like 16 kids,
Mm-hmm.
so I really feel like I believe in going to school and college, but honestly, preferably if he had a path like to take to own one of those businesses, I probably would have took that path.
Yeah.
So I always looked at that as just really having a legacy and generational wealth. And in the black community, well, I'll just speak for my family. I really think that could have changed just the trajectory of a whole lot of my family. If look
Yeah.
at all those different business avenues that would have could have been created for years to come.
Yeah.
Um, and by the way, and that's no disrespect to my grandfather at all, but it's just how I always looked at it. So when I built Comfort Measures Consulting, it was really just me finding my passion, my purpose. I had just come off of a venture with event space,
Okay.
and it didn't turn out too well, as planned. So I said, well, God, I think I lost like, and then y'all probably laugh at this, but I think I lost like $2,200
Yeah. You was
around.
like, no.
Yeah, I'm like, bruh, like, you know, like my family, my brother and sister, they named me El Cheapo. Like that's his name for real. Like, I'm not about losing money. So,
Yeah.
but
This is. So let's stick here because a friend of mine, what's so funny, because we were just talking about event spaces and like that business, because we were talking about Neo Davis last night. And why wasn't it successful? Like why do you think it wasn't successful? Because we have somebody who's selling courses and classes on how to make that successful. So what do you think went wrong? What do you know? Because I know you've tracked it back.
well, actually, and just being honest with you, and major shout out to my Mr. Harvey Wilson. I went through a cohort, so like you just speaking about, like,
Yeah.
and it's a great hustle too. Whoever came up with that
Yeah.
strategy to teach people, let them sign up, they pay money, and then you just regurgitate that same education every. That
Every
was
time.
one, but never mind, that's off topic.
Yeah.
But that's a good hustle though. But I honestly saw that as a option for me. My mom always used to talk about like having an event space
Mhm.
and having events there, and it's something that you don't have to be there and maintain all the time, only periodically. So I saw that as an avenue to test, but little did I know,
Yeah.
like, different cities, different areas, like those prices change. And
Yeah.
then you're dealing with commercial property as well. So those commercial leases maybe 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, depending on the owners. So when you get into those things, you start to learn how much money it take, to start up a business like that, what type of equipment you need to operate in those businesses.
Yeah.
So it's a different type. It can be very lucrative. It can be very successful. I think as far as the fit, I came into the event space business not having social media, like no Instagram, no Facebook. Like my family used to call me weird. Like I didn't really care for
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
But and then I had to learn social media. One, like everybody else knows. So think about, I'm like in the Stone Age. Like that's really me.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so I had to learn social media, and I was trying to not put myself out there like me, trying to stand behind the brand. So it was really honestly just a whole learning phase for me all the way around.
Yeah.
Uh, and Mr. Harvard Wilson, again, I was just calling around because me, I always go to when I'm shopping. I always go to the what it is, cost effective route, right? So I called around. I saw this and learned this in my cohort. I called around to different party rental companies and saw if they were, reconciling or getting rid of equipment. And
Yeah.
just so happened, I called Mr. Wilson. He's with New Tampa Party Rentals, and he had an event space that he wasn't doing anything with really. So he
Mm-hmm.
said, well, if you can, we come up with a partnership, and if you want to, try this out, you can do it. So I took it serious. I took it as an opportunity. God giving me a chance to at least start my entrepreneurial journey. But the event space wasn't like, if I let you Google it, I don't really want to talk bad about it,
Yeah.
but it was me trying to really be grateful and thankful and take something and turn it into something. His business more so was with tents,
Yeah.
and those type of setups. So, but I still pursued it as I'm taking it serious. He gave me an opportunity, so I'm going to show him that it's worth it. But ultimately, our visions didn't align with, what to do with, the event space, and we just discontinued the partnership. But it was a blessing in itself because, you know, if you're choosing an event space, you can easily find a place that's $15,000,
Yeah.
and now you're locked into a $5,000 a month, or more, uh, commercial monthly payment for that. And now you have to find somebody else to sublet out to get out of that deal, that contract. So it's a big obligation. I was able to avoid that and only lose, 2,200 some, odd dollars when
Yeah.
it could have been way more than that, way more than that.
I
So
got
yep. So after that, I really started praying once, and I said, well, actually, before our partnership even ended, I already saw it. Like actually a month before we just had a conversation, and I already knew it wasn't gonna work. So I started praying, like asking God, like, man, God, give me something that, you know my heart, you know who I am.
Yeah.
Uh, Give me something that connects with my passion and help me find myself.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when I start the journey of just working. When I was working with hospice, I always used to say, well, how do family members, find ALFs, or how they know how to choose these places, And then I discovered by talking with different administrators that there's senior placement agencies out
Mm-hmm.
there that just like realtors, so to speak, but they
Yeah.
just help people find a great um, senior care community that fits their loved ones. So, and
Mm-hmm.
then I found there's no barriers to entry. You don't have to have a certification or anything like that. So I said, oh, that sounds like your boy.
Yeah.
So so I had a few administrators that I built great relationship with that would do contracts with me, for senior living placement agency. And so I said, I'll add that as under comfort measures consultant. And then I thought about, I was like, I want to be able to educate people as well, because in my profession, being a nurse home administrator, working at MetLife, I ran into so many people that didn't know about insurance. They didn't know about, if mom had a life event, like what to do. So I wanted, and I always watch podcasts. I watch podcasts more than I watch regular television.
Yeah.
So, and I
Now,
was,
why is that? Tell me why.
why?
Yeah.
Uh, Probably because like I don't have cable. So
Mm-hmm.
probably. So I have this. I don't want to talk about that part, but yeah. So that's probably why. I don't know.
Yeah.
Honestly, I just like podcasts. I like just that real conversation in person and seeing that type of the interactions and that's probably why I built my show the way I did. Because I
Yeah.
always, my grandma always used to watch like Ricky Lake and
Yeah.
Oprah, and so I
Yeah.
used to watch those type of shows, and I used to like it. So on the low, you know what I mean. But,
Yeah.
so I said, you know what? I'm gonna set up my show for how I want it to be, like in the future. So, and that's how I built. I started dreaming about the podcast, thinking about it all the time. And I said, you know what? If God's putting this on my mind like this, like let me just do it. And I did it. And probably, and I met so many great people along the way. You, Aaron Thompson, Melanie Hand, Nicole Will, just people in different states, like just from LinkedIn. Uh,
Yeah.
like Nicole Will, I think is in Minnesota. Aaron Thompson is like in Alabama. Like so, it's like they just helped me out with being a mentor with me, like starting my process with the podcast. And that's really how I just started. And within what I launched June of 2024, so I'm approaching what my anniversary here, and
Yeah.
within 3 weeks. I spoke with Linda Burhan, and I was on the radio within 3 weeks of launching. So you never know what like God will do when you just follow your passion and believe in Him. Like you just open up doors that you don't even expect. Even
Listen.
landing on your podcast. This is like my fourth
Yeah.
podcast, fourth or fifth. So I never even thought these things would happen. To be honest with you.
Listen, I'm telling you, that's the formula with doing this. This is episode 155. Hey, Sherelle, thank you so much for tuning in. Like I'm telling you, God have to have your resources, but you got to know how to use them effectively, and then you got to put in that work. And so, what episode are you on right now?
Total. So this season two, so 20. So today was the season finale. Season two, episode 10 of Let's Get Comfy podcast. We got a wonderful guest, international business development director, Miss Tracy Lamb with Odessa Connect. So definitely check it out. We on YouTube, all your favorite podcast platforms. Definitely subscribe to the channel as well.
Listen, I this is one of the things that I love about meeting people, connecting with people, networking with people. Let me tell you, let me just toot your horn for a second, because since the day that I met Norman, like um he knew that I had a degree from Florida A&M University in broadcast journalism. So he immediately just respected my craft there. And the one thing that I love about you, Norman, is the fact that you can tell that you're business minded because you want those best practices. Like you definitely you definitely want those best practices. You want the knowledge. You aren't afraid to go after the right resources to make your platform better. And the trajectory of growth with your podcast, which I was telling you, like it is where I was back when you started. I'm going into my fourth year of podcasting. Like you are right on that trajectory. Like I think you are moving probably a little bit faster than I was moving. You just have the right components. You have the right mindset going into this podcast space. You've done your homework. You've done your due diligence, and that is what's going to pay off. And people think it's always like this quick thing, this quick turnover that's going to happen in the podcast space. But that's just like with your favorite radio show. It's just like with your grandmother when she was watching Ricky Lake. She could have watched Oprah. She could have watched Sally Jazzie Raphael. She could have watched Jenny Jones. She could have watched a plethora of people, but her choice was Ricky Lake. So we're in this space. We're competing not only with, local podcasts, but we are competing with celebrity podcasts, because it is really like everyone and their mom has a podcast. But once you find your niche, once you find your audience, it's like you're gonna find those people who are loyal to you, and your name is going to start entering rooms that you haven't even been in before, and you are already starting to see that. Because my boy, what's happening with you? Why were we popping champagne in the middle of the street? Because what has your podcast been able to do at this health conference that's coming up? So I don't want to tell the news.
Yeah,
So you got
yeah.
it.
Yeah, I know this is. I'm very excited about Florida Healthcare Conference. Uh, so y'all,
Yes, I can
can you
hear
hear
you.
me?
Yep.
No.
Yes.
Yeah, Jazz. I wish you would have told me about this. I wish you would have told me about this how it be, because I would have threw this
It,
lap. I'm about to throw this laptop across the room, man. I'm sorry, but
listen, I don't
uh,
want to say no, but I'm like, it's not normally like that. So
hey, for
I'm
real.
trying to figure out what's going
Uh,
on, but we good. That's why I was like, make sure you have good Wi-Fi. I don't know. I don't know. But talk to us about this conference, because this is when you were
it's
telling
got
me
me
about
so hot right
it.
now in the inside. I'm trying to
I understand.
survive.
I'm good. I'm good.
Yeah, I'm home too, man. Bro, listen, um, I'm trying to, yeah, I'm staying like nice and smiling and stuff, you know.
Yes. Yes. But your podcast is the podcast for this upcoming
Hold,
um
hold on, Jazzy. I'm sorry.
okay.
I gotta,
Okay. So
cause
he's yes, I'm here.
I'm probably like blanking on everything. Uh-oh.
Sherelle is so silly. Listen, I feel like, and I don't want to say big sister because I always be trying to claim that I'm just older than people, but it's quite all right. But I feel like a proud big sister with hearing all of these accomplishments that Norman is taking on, because I'm like, he's so genuine and he's so resourceful. So it's like anytime he gets like a lead on something with a podcast, or Jazz, I think this person would be good, or Jazz, did you think about this for your podcast? Or he'll just send like encouraging words, and I'm appreciative of that. And so I know this huge medical conference, healthcare conference, that's coming up in Orlando. He's the premier podcast. He's the only podcast that's going to be there that was invited to broadcast live there. And I just wanted him to be able to talk about it. So those of you who are watching who are in the healthcare industry, you guys can tap in. Because if you are, I know you already know about the conference. Like, it's huge. So Norman, are you able to talk to us about the conference? I hear you.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
I just messed your whole show up.
You okay? Because you're a perfectionist. And listen, what I'm gonna do, because I just want them to see how it is like night and day. Because I know he's like, if I could really pop you, Jazz, like I really would. Like I was complimenting him on his podcast,
Yeah, so
because I absolutely love the way he shoots his podcast. And that's what I marveled about, is just the whole production that goes behind his podcast. Just watching him like set it up, and then him working with an editor, and him just telling me like the whole process. Like, I love that. But this one, and it would do this for you, like somebody who is passionate. So like, this show is your comeback right here.
yeah, yeah. So and then I don't know how to be no other way than myself. So it's hard for me, like, and then I
Yeah.
wait. Then my mama have this little line right here. Like,
Uh-huh.
yeah. So we can't hide how we feel. So you
Yeah,
know what I
yeah,
mean? We can't hide it all. Like so. I'm really like, yeah, yeah.
yeah.
So
So listen, pop your collar, talk to us about this conference so we can get in the space and just know how amazing of an opportunity this is for you.
yes, yes. Thank you so much. Uh, but yeah, the Florida Healthcare Conference is actually the largest conference in the southeast of the United States. Definitely the largest conference in the state of Florida. So last year, I put in a proposal actually before I even had my first show,
Oh wow.
and it wasn't approved, which I totally understand. And but I did take my little tripod and my phone, and I did little short interviews there, and it got great attention. And so this year, when I asked to be a podcast, have my platform there, it was approved. So I definitely appreciate Christian Knapp and Florida Healthcare Association and marketing and communication team for allowing me to actually be there. It's a great opportunity. It's a big opportunity for my organization and my brand. So I'm just happy and excited. Like you saw, I had to do the pop the ball and everything. I was so happy.
Yeah,
So it takes a lot of work in podcasting because you know how you say like a lot of people you tell you have a podcast and they first thing typically say is, "Oh, I was gonna do a podcast too." But yeah, consistency, that's probably one of the most things I really admire about you. Like
yeah,
is that your consistency. Like people don't understand how hard it is to be that consistent. Like
yeah,
all the time with the marketing and engagement and
yeah,
all the preparation you have to do to be a podcaster. So and then be an entrepreneur as well, and have your own company and organization. So it's a lot of work, but again, it's yours. I always
yeah,
said when I left being a nursing home administrator, I always stated that the next time I work that hard is going to be for myself. And so, and that's what I do. Like I'll give my all for my company that I work for, Evolutionary Healthcare, and then for Confirmation Consultant, I give my all with that. So
yeah,
but Florida Healthcare is a wonderful opportunity to collaborate with other like-minded individuals in the healthcare space. Actually, touch shoulders and have conversation with different leadership and different organizations that are worldwide.
yeah,
So an incredible opportunity for confirmation consulting, CMC Media, and the podcast. So I'm very grateful.
yeah, yeah. What are you looking forward to this conference? Like, your setup, you're like in the main exhibition hall. Is that where they have you?
They have me on the outside of the trade show, we're on the outside of the trade show, but
How your voice is
you
changing.
know, they have me on the outside of the trade show, but they
I'm
made
seeing
space.
it.
Yeah, they made space for you, boy.
I like that though, because a lot that's where people are gonna be
I
coming
know.
anyway.
Yeah,
Like,
that's
you
what
know
I
what I
said.
mean? So like, yeah, you're in the epicenter of everything. And so
Mm-hmm.
like I find that to be amazing because Norman, this is the deal. Like, how many people in your industry could or even thought about, even if they how many people, first of all, in that space have a podcast that would take advantage of that? You get what I'm saying? Like
Right, right.
it's all about creating that opportunity. Like, you pitched this to them before you even aired your first episode because in your mind, you're doing all of this planning. You know where you want this to go. That's what a
Mm-hmm.
visionary does. That's what somebody who believes in God does. When you pray to God to give you that vision and he puts something and he plants something in you, you have to run with that. Like, if he gave you that vision to do that, that's why. Like, he planted that seed in you, and look at the flower that's blooming from it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Oh, yeah.
So like I love it. Like it is
Thank
it
you.
is it is you're welcome. It's a gateway into something huge. Like, when
Yeah.
you are able to get inside of those conferences like that,
Mm-hmm.
that's huge. That's amazing.
It's a
Like,
big.
you're going to tap into a whole nother audience.
Yeah, I told Christian Knapp with Florida Healthcare. I said, Christian, like whenever I get a headquarters, I'm gonna make you a statue. Like I appreciate the opportunity.
Yeah.
So it's a major opportunity, over 1,000 attendees. So and then like you said, it being out in the hallway is that's a prime. Like everybody have to enter and exit, right? So I'm grateful for the space. I really am, and it's an incredible
Yeah.
opportunity. So my wife will be there. My producer, she my producer. She my producer. She does a lot of my content, like my flyers and content.
Yeah.
So, and I always give credit where credit is due. Like my editor, Corey Crawford, we're on the verge, a digital marketing service. Like he really more than just my editor. It's really like a consultant all the way around. Like, and we've had a relationship, even what around when I did Studio 194. He was doing all my editing there, so I call him the man behind the brand.
Yeah.
So, and like he really just turned. Because I say some people are, and that's one thing I noticed about you. You are a visionary and a creator, right?
Yeah.
So me, I see myself as a visionary, but I
Mhm.
lack on the creative side. So
Gotcha.
he's able to bring my vision to life, and he called me squirrel brain sometimes because I think a lot. I think a
Yeah.
lot. I have a lot of
Yeah.
different ideas. So, but yeah, for sure. That's one thing I really admire about your consistency, and for you to be, almost like a one man army. Like it's a lot that you
Oh, it
have to
is.
do and commit to, for sure.
Oh, it is.
But I always say, there's my whole motto is there's no self-made success story. Like you don't need help from
Absolutely.
somebody, and so I always pride myself in giving other people credit and not being the one that have to need all the shine. I never was driven by power or limelight. I just be honest with you. I want to get to the money. You know, but I want to get to the money. So I don't care about notoriety. To be honest
Yeah.
with you, be personally honest with you, I really don't care about notoriety. But I understand it comes with, the territory, and I appreciate everyone that supports. It means a lot. I didn't know that I ever become a person that really watched the likes and the views and the comments, but now I'm that person.
Yeah.
So, and it means something to you when you have people really support, because the behind the scenes, the 2 a.m. nights that you're staying up, the 1 a.m., the falling asleep on the couch every night, like those are things that people don't see. You
Yeah.
know, they don't see that. So, but yeah,
Can you see Monique's comment to you?
yeah, that's my sister. She
Hey,
helped me.
hey, Monique. Hey, sis. How you
Yeah,
doing?
yeah.
It is definitely it's again now we're on that step of putting in that work. Like
Mhm.
you have got to you got to do it. You have to put in the work. And it's a work in process progress, just like with your company, with anything that you are birthing, like with your kids.
Mhm.
Sometimes you have to start back at square one, but again, you have to be consistent, and you have to have a vision for it. You have to have a goal for it. And I love what you are building. If there's
Mhm.
anybody um who's in that space, another reason why I felt that it be only right to have you on is because, just for me, Norman, like I know several people who are in the podcast space, um and I do listen to a lot of podcasts. And so that's why I asked that question to you, like, well, why do you listen to podcasts? Because there are so many people who have not switched over to seeing the value in it. And just with
Mhm.
me, just carving out, okay, I know when I get ready, it used to be the radio, but now it's like,
Mhm.
um, oh my gosh. Her name just escapes me for some reason, but she has one of my favorite podcasts, but she has the Vault Conversations, and it's one of
Mhm.
Steve Harvey's daughters. Like, when I say she has an amazing podcast, when I say sis knows her stuff, and she has great like guests on there, that's how I like to start my morning, is by listening to a new episode of her podcast. And so I'm like, okay, so that was an hour of my time in the morning. And
Mhm.
so then I like to get a little raunchy, a little fun,
You
you
got to.
know.
You got to.
I'm gonna listen to Let's P and Andrea, and I'm gonna listen to their podcast. I love David Shan's podcast. If I want to get
Yeah, I
information,
listened to him too.
or David Shan is actually, his podcast is one of the first podcasts that I started listening to. Um,
Same here. Like
um,
listening. I
Yeah,
wasn't listening to his podcast, but I would watch like his YouTube clips, and
yeah,
he would have a lot of clips. But he was a big motivator for
absolutely.
me as well. Yeah, for sure.
Absolutely. And so it's just it is just it is a space where you make it what you can. And I always what I have, and I feel like you have the same mantra as well, like God is just too powerful.
Hmm.
God is too powerful to have led both of us down this path to want to do a podcast for it not to be something
Hmm.
within him, because what you're doing edifies him. What I do is doing the same thing. Like we're offering a service that it does help people. We inspire people. It's not like we hold back from telling people like because of this or because of God, this is what has come, come to be. And so I look and the only reason why I say that is because a lot of people get they get deterred from following the path just because they see people like, let's just say, a Nene Leaks.
Yeah.
Nene Leaks has entered this podcast space and has like just dominated. Like if you look at her
Hmm.
numbers, and she's only like on episode 8 maybe, but she's done it with years of being able to accumulate like this persona with which who she is. She had a huge platform. And so now you have this platform, you've created this persona, you've been able to create the following with other projects that you're doing. So now, yeah, if I call a Tamar Braxton, if I call a Pinky, if I call, just any celebrity, there my ratings are up that way. So I look at it like the time is going to come for that one. And this is what people tell me all the time, because I don't necessarily look for it to come from somebody who is a superstar. I just look for it to be something that God ordains. Like this is the episode that's going to catch the eye of somebody who's going to take you to the next level. Like you've been so faithful, you've been so consistent, because it's really not about that person's following for me. And numbers are great for me, but I live outside of tracking numbers. Like I don't. I'm
Yeah,
like,
me.
it'll drive me insane, Norman, if I
Yeah, I was
did.
about to say. Yeah, I can't look at the
It'll
numbers.
drive me
I be
insane.
in the room by myself. Some of that. I look at the numbers, but
Like
also I knew
it'll be
that going in. Oh, sorry.
I just can't do that, because if personally, if I did that,
Hmm.
then those numbers are going to tell me that I'm not making an impact. But it's like, I know for a fact that I am making an impact. Like you asked me a question this morning, and I was like, look, I was at an event like this weekend where a gentleman, he had to be like in his 30s. He just came up to me and he was like, I see you, sis. He was like, I'm watching you. Well, where did that come from, sir? Because I'm thinking, like, in terms of analytics, I'm thinking
Yeah.
more women watch this show than men. And I'm like, you have a man that's coming up and he's like, I saw this episode when da 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 da. And I'm like, well, I didn't see you anywhere in the comment section. I didn't see you
Hmm.
share it. I didn't see you, but they're watching,
It was.
like
Yeah,
it
yeah.
just,
I said
and then
I'll
I
be
can,
thinking that in my head. I'll be appreciative. I'm sorry to cut you off too. I'll
yes,
be appreciative of the support in person, but I be thinking in my head like, man, like it, man. You've been knowing me for 5 years, bro. Hit the like button.
don't do
But
that. Don't do that.
don't do that.
It's going to have you not liking nobody. Don't do
It's
that.
not.
It's
Nah,
going
I
to have
don't.
you want to cuss them
No,
out and
no, no,
everybody
no.
else. Don't do that.
I don't take it that personally, to be honest though, because already knew starting out with my niche within healthcare. I knew that wasn't a popular topic. I knew like people don't tune into a platform like that. That's why I wanted to create it so that people could
Yeah.
have an option to be able to see and hear from thought leaders in the healthcare space that they typically wouldn't hear from. So that's
Absolutely.
why I wanted to, and then also like COVID showed us, the vital industries, that we could not live without, and healthcare was
Yeah.
one of them. And they coined, individuals as healthcare heroes. So I
Yes.
said, well, I want to build a platform to celebrate people that really, making impact out here in the world. And it's not that, honestly, that I'm the expert on the show. If you notice, I interview a lot of other people that have expertise in
Yes.
the area longer than me. I never was, like I said, I never was a person that had to be the smartest. I never wanted to be the smartest on any team that I led. Period.
Yeah.
Like I want good people around me that's gonna benefit me. And I think one of my superpowers, I think I just had this question, is just knowing the value in resources. Being
Yes.
resourceful is very powerful. It's very powerful. So knowing how to make a few calls and get things happen, that's what that's the value I think I add to a lot of people as well. So and I love and I enjoy helping people too. I want people to win. Um, I really take ownership and pride in being able to help people and not want anything in return, but
Yeah.
just really just honestly being a loyal person, like being a loyal person and really enjoying helping other people grow. And that's
Yeah.
one thing I really love about, I think what I do a really good job at
Yeah.
is I really want somebody else to win, and I think what God has for me is gonna come. So just I mean,
Yeah.
I just really want you to win.
So you definitely, you know yourself, and I love that about you, because that's the vibe that I get from you, because I there's a lot of decent people. There are a lot of fun people. There are a lot of people who are about their business that I have met, but you probably are the first person that I've like opened up to or felt comfortable opening up to in terms of this podcast space, because exactly what you said, it is exactly that. That's
Thank you.
exactly what I felt. Like I felt nothing else from you. And when I feel like, that calmness, that ability to like, yeah, I actually trust what he's saying. Like there,
You're right.
like
You're
I
right.
don't even though you gave me your kudos, my kudos and all of that, I never ever saw like you invited me on your podcast to be like, oh, this is the one that's going to do numbers. I'm only inviting you because you seem to have a good. It wasn't even that, and I literally have had people tell me that. Like I literally, like what the, like well, thank you for letting me know where I am, where I stand with why
Yeah.
you asked me this. It's like I felt like I felt like you saw the value in what I was doing. You were sincerely interested in the story, and you created a platform that allowed me to show it. And so oh, so your mom is on.
I know she gonna call. I text her. I said, Mom, Mom, you gonna watch? I knew she gonna come on.
Hey, listen, look, I love it.
Yeah.
That's love. I
Mhm.
wanted to show you this comment. Sherelle is my line sister, but she said, I love that you're sharing your knowledge and resources with others in the same business circle. The Lord blesses those that are a blessing to others. So you
Thank
always eat for having such a giving spirit. And I,
you.
I definitely I definitely concur with that. I definitely agree with it. Like you said, what God has for you is for you. So share those resources, like he has it for you. He's
Yeah.
not gonna take nothing from you.
The oldest is my sister. She's
So you feel me, you're breaking up a little bit now.
really.
Okay, now.
What
Okay, right,
about
see,
now?
right now. No, don't move. So keep
I ain't
talking.
moving. I was saying,
Yeah, there we go.
I'm the oldest sibling. So being the oldest, my sister is like 6 years younger than me, and my brother 9 years younger than me. So
Yeah,
I always wanted them to do better than me. So that's really my mom always taught us like all we had was each other.
yeah,
So that's really we just really stuck together. Like we argue and bicker and all of that, but we just have each other back, and I
yeah,
treat other people like that as well. Like I want you to win, and I wanted you to win. I saw that. I saw your work, and I saw how consistent you was. That's the biggest. When I
yeah,
started my platform, I didn't research the success stories. I researched what mistakes people made. So that was my target. I looked at, okay, how if this person, and every last one of everybody that I heard, they always said, well, if I
So that last word, Norman, if you can hear me, I know when you said you talked to people just about what their mistakes were, they said that if they would have what?
I'm sorry, I missed your question. Can you repeat it?
No, you were saying that one of the biggest mistakes that people have made, they
Oh,
said,
got
well,
it.
if I would have,
Yeah, the biggest mistake they made was taking a break. Taking a 6 month break, taking a 9 month break, or taking a year off. and then trying to restart everything over. That was like the consistency that I would hear. So I
Yeah.
say, you know what? If anything, I'm gonna be consistent. I may not
Yeah.
be, may not look the best, or so I say, you know what? But I'm gonna keep at it, and over time, it'll get better. And again, with the blessings and doors God open for you from being consistent, like you wouldn't imagine, like the opportunities. So the prayer I've been praying now, I said, God, now open up some money too.
I know that's right.
Yeah,
Add me that one.
yeah, open up some money too, man.
Listen, I've been saying, but you know what? I've been saying that, but honestly, like to sit down and just pray it, because just with me, my best prayers are in written form. I don't know if that sounds weird or not, but I have my best prayers when I write it out to him, and then I
Mm.
probably have to say it, in a prayer with that. But it's one of these rules where like you write your goals down, and it's like I think it's the 369 rule. And it's like, whatever your goals are, when you wake up in the morning, write it down 3 times. No, write it down. Write it down 3 times in the morning, 6 times the second time, and then at night before you go to bed, write it down 9 times, because that'll be the lasting thing that you have on your mind when you go to sleep. And that causes that I guess to ignite that manifestation, like you
Mm.
dream about it, and it's going to be on your mind. So when you wake up, it's again. So those most important things, like I try to follow the 369 rule, and I'm just like, money is in that, and I just God
It's crazy that you just state that, because my friend and I, Marcus McMillan, he was a psychology major, so we
Mhm.
had this conversation. His mother is a pastor, so he raised in church as well. So we said, with the manifestation, and continues to say it,
Yeah,
how do you balance that with like, and I
faith.
want your take on this, like putting it in God's hand and leaving
Yeah,
it there. You know how they say that? Like,
yeah.
but they want you to keep repeating it, but how you leave it in his hand if you're gonna keep
Yeah.
on saying it? So that was
I
that was like our conversation. So what you think about
I
that?
feel like it goes along the two scriptures that came to mind when you just asked me that was there's power in the tongue,
Hmm.
and the fact that faith without works is dead. And so I feel like those two things are working in a continuum, like they're working kind of hand in hand. Like if I say it and I'm visualizing it, like I also, like, you write the vision, you make it plain, right? So all of those oh, your mom is right in it. Your mom just said it. So
Habakkuk.
it's
Now we
like
know about the book of Habakkuk.
your
That's
mama.
Habakkuk.
Your mama. But honestly, like that Miss Harris, that's what came to my mind too. It's like, I have something that I write. My favorite scripture is let your light so shine before men that they may see your good works and glorify your Father which is in heaven, which is Matthew 5:16. And I have that, like I try to have that everywhere. And here's the thing, because then I'm gonna go back to you, because with manifestation, right? I When I took the leap of faith to leave a job that I had for over 20 years, I really did manifest a job that I wanted to make my own, right? And so I manifested a job where I get to do something that I'm very passionate about in the midst of chasing another passion, which is my podcast, broadcasting, hosting, right? How about, what do you think? What verse of the Bible do you think they repeat every year at their graduation ceremony? My favorite Bible verse, Matthew 5:16. I was like, wait, yeah, this is a tradition to say that. Like y'all have it in the school. I'm like, oh God, you had to lead me here. So
Yeah.
it's just like all of these things when we speak it, when we
Hmm.
ask God to lead us, like you have to have that faith. Like I've spoken it, and I know that you are going to lead it, but it's just like a reminder. I feel like when you continue to speak it over and over, it's just a reminder to yourself.
Yeah, I
Like, why
agree.
do we say the same things like over and over in church if we know that this is what's going to be?
Hmm.
Like God has you. He doesn't need a broken record, but it's just like to pay homage, like to say, I do know that you have me, but
Hmm.
I need, we're human, so we need that little boost along with the faith.
Yeah, yeah. I definitely write things down too. So I have like sticky notepads in my closet. So I always like to. I don't like rushing to get ready because I
Yeah,
do a lot of thinking and talking to God during that time. So I'm with it. It was just a good topic,
it was.
So
That was a
to the
great question. That was a
yeah, yeah.
very great question. Like yeah, that's something to think about. But then it's just like, I'm just so full with it. Like, though, I think so for me, it gets me through those times where I'm like, okay, God, like, I'm at it for 4 years. I've been consistent. Like, what? And it's just like, He'll do something that will
Because
just
what?
shut me up.
Yeah, he will. He will. As soon as you, I will
As
say that
soon
a
as
lot
you,
of times. As soon as you think like, man, I'm about tired of this, and then next thing you know, it's something you get a break somewhere, and God
yeah,
be right on time. So I'm definitely with you on that. But yeah, so I still continue to believe, and I
yeah.
would say being an entrepreneur, I probably never talked to God so much in my life ever.
I can
Yeah,
imagine.
yeah,
Yes, I
I
get
talk.
it. I get it.
Mhm.
Listen,
Yeah, for sure.
and I wanted to I do not want you to leave this podcast without just really fully knowing just what you have, the magnitude of what you have and how special it is, because when our loved ones get to that age where they're in their elder years, that's when we mostly need for someone to take care of them. That's when it gets hard. Like, I was reading this one post from someone where it said, and it was just talking about their parent transitioning. It was like, when I was a baby, my mom was the first person that fed me. Now I'm feeding her. When I was a child, she was the one that put my clothes on. Now I'm putting her clothes on.
Hmm.
It was just like everything was just, it was in reverse, and, it's inevitable if God sees it that way, that we're gonna get up there in age, and we do need those resources, whether or not they're in age or not, we just need those medical resources. So what you are doing is opening up an avenue, actually a comforting avenue of resources where people can tap in and just learn about those insurance measures, learn about, different resources, learn about, well, what can I do if I'm now receiving, what is it that we receive when we're older? The stipend from the government, Lord, I can't even, what was it?
SSI, Medicaid,
Yes,
SSI.
when we're doing, like, when we are receiving SSI, like, how to make those funds work for us. And so that is something that is needed, not only in our
Hmm.
community, but every community. Like, that information, like hearing it from professionals in the medical field, we need
Right,
it,
right.
you know?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
you definitely are offering a service that is needed. You're doing it in a way with fidelity. You're doing it in a way where you want the messaging to come across as best as possible, with the marketing, with the editing, the visuals, but also the content as well. And then you're
Hmm.
putting in the work behind it. Like, you are creating something very special, with your media company. And I can't wait to see it continue to grow.
Yeah, I try to get you come on because you have some very special. You definitely do.
Yeah.
But I just see it as honestly, I sympathize for a lot of caregivers. I haven't had the journey of that, but just running into so many family members
Yeah.
and I always used to say, as a nurse home administrator, I was like a counselor to my staff and to families. Like, so many people would cry to me, and I would just see and hear all these stories. And I just said, man, people aren't prepared. I wasn't prepared. My family, we didn't have those conversations in the house about, the difference between the living will and the trust, and just the benefits, or knowing what mama decisions, who she want her decision maker to be. None of those conversations happen. And then you run into families where now there's a life event and they don't know what mama's social security number is. They don't know where her social security card at. They don't know who her insurance provider is. So you see so many people not prepared, and it's like, why is this not advertised or what
Yeah.
highlighted as more? You
Yeah.
know, it's definitely a need. So I wanted to provide that need. But there's so many other people that I came across and I learned about just from
Mhm.
networking that really have wonderful stories, and they really put in. hands-on hard work. CNAs, nurses, just people that have a way, I would say in-depth journeys than my own. But
Yeah.
I feel like those individuals, I say, when you come on my platform, I'm gonna turn you into a celebrity.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give you the shine and the bright, the light that I feel like, as much as I can do for you when you come on my platform. So that's why I do so many shorts, and I really try my best to market a person and make them feel good about coming on the platform. So
Yeah.
um, but yeah, it's a lot of good people out in the world. I know there's bad people as well, but
Yeah.
there's really good people out there that you can tap into, follow them, ask them for questions. But people that are in need of help, a lot of times they don't want to go and seek the
Hmm.
proper help,
Yeah.
right?
Very
Um,
true.
so it's a lot of free services out there that the government don't advertise.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things out there that we definitely our people we don't know about. We
Hmm.
don't go and try to go to down to the county's office or go to the area on aging office. There's so many different resources where you can get equipment for free, right? Just being on social media, Facebook, just
Yeah.
asking those questions to seek help. But what people don't realize is there's a high percentage of caregivers that pass away before their elderly loved ones that they're taking care of.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So you think about that, like you giving up, a big piece of percentage of your life, to care for your loved ones, and you're not taking care of yourself.
Right.
So you have to take. I have a relative going through that right now, and I tell him, man, I said, hey, man, you have a family. It's people I know that lost their wife. They lost, the kid relationship with the kids because, now they taking care of daddy for 9 years. That's a
Yeah.
long time to be a part of that journey.
Yeah.
So that's a long time. It's life changing, and the guilt that you feel for going on a trip or doing something and leaving them alone. So it's a
Yeah.
lot. It's a
It's a
lot.
lot. We talked about that on the last podcast with you. I was telling you how my dad went down for taking care of his mother, like because he was her caregiver. Like that was just his charge to keep to her, and we literally just saw his health decline tremendously just from doing that.
Hmm.
Um, and so yeah, it's definitely that conversation, those resources definitely are needed. When you were talking, because I'm like, ooh, I'm definitely sending this podcast episode to my family. It's like, hey, let's get on the conference call. We need to reach out to Norman
Yeah.
because, like, do you help anyone outside of the elderly sector?
Yes, yes. So it's really just so typically the clientele for personal advocacy are, individuals that's in that age range of like 40 to 50 years old. Their
Mhm.
parents are typically, 75, 78, and they're not at the stage maybe
Yeah,
to handle affairs.
yeah.
So it's those are really the people that I primarily, communicate with mostly.
Okay.
So because again, you're gonna have a POA or someone that you're gonna
Yeah.
designate to represent you. So a lot of times they looking for direction. They want to get their loved one out of a particular facility that they don't like. So
Hmm.
there's different things you encounter that advocate actually can support. But the here's the problem for a consultant or advocacy, the government doesn't reimburse you for that. There's no Medicaid reimbursement rate at all for individuals that are actually, consulting and providing that type of service. So
Hmm.
that's the piece. You can have the care and heart, but you want to make a living too.
Right.
You
Right.
want to make a
Right.
living too.
Like,
So yeah, yeah. But yeah, I really enjoy doing what I do. I'm loving the people that I meet.
yeah.
And I actually find it very intriguing to learn individual stories and creatively, bring those conversations out in the interview. So I enjoy it. It's not working for a comfort measures consultant is not work for me. Like I don't be tired or, from doing those things. Like yeah, I enjoy doing it and building it. I'm just an impatient person, so I be wanting to see success,
Yeah.
right away.
Right away.
Yeah, right away.
Yeah.
So that's the only
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
But
Because you're
so
passionate about it, like, and you care about the people that you're servicing. So I get it. You have a servant's heart, so it
mm,
makes sense. So
yeah.
I want to thank you so much because I know that although you are the president of comfort, I know this has been so uncomfortable for you.
Listen,
And I want to apologize to you. I really do because I know that this is not your format. You know, this
now,
is not your
now
your
probably now you probably believe me when I say I didn't have Facebook and all that for years, right?
no.
Yeah, you probably believe me now. But no, but no, this is I'm actually say I feel bad because it's your platform and
It's
I'm having all these hiccups, honestly. So
it's fine.
I
It's
apologize.
because I'm gonna tell you, like, when I'm in my car, like, I look at podcasts, but I am I'm a traditionalist when it comes to podcasts because, like I said, like I was telling you, when I listen to podcasts, like I'm doing something else. So it's mainly auditory for me.
Yeah,
It took, people trying to do the new format of a podcast to have video
yeah,
and audio because that captures people's attention more because they like the visuals. Like
mhm,
we're visual people, but traditionally your podcast you're listening to audio. So
yeah,
it's not a nuisance to me. Like it is just because I just know the purpose that I was sent with to even have
mhm,
you on this podcast. So it's just like for me, like all of this, it's not an interference because at the end of the day, when someone is intentional and they sit and they listen to, the podcast, like the meat is there, like
yeah,
the information is there. I actually tagged someone in a post of yours that I posted on my Jazzy Conversations with Jazz Facebook page because she's actually getting ready to do a health and wellness weekday. It's going to be on Saturday, June 28th, and it's going to be a full day of just healthcare professionals that offer different services. And it's like, oh, well, and that just came in my lap today. And I'm like, well, let me
thank you.
link Norman and Inga, like that could be a workable relationship. And you never know
Yeah,
what could come from that. So I'm like, she literally called me today, like
yeah,
inboxed me today. So I'm just like, well, to me, that's God aligning things, like just
yeah.
out of the blue, we talk about somebody in the
Mm-hmm.
healthcare,
Awesome.
so
Thank you.
for me, that's what it's all about.
Mm-hmm.
It really is. So I appreciate, your time. And is there anything in closing that you wanted to say before we head out?
Yes. I want to say that Confirmation Consulting is here from an advocacy standpoint for families and caregivers to provide knowledge and resources, but also represent you. I've done conference calls with families that
Okay.
have differences, right? Different dynamics. Family member, everybody don't get along. So
Hmm.
sometimes it's good to have a mediator to come in and sort of regulate things, but make sure things are fair, firm, and consistent. And that's my approach
Yeah.
with family members as well. I also support independent healthcare, privately owned healthcare organizations as well.
Hmm.
Many times, your smaller ALFs, 15 beds, your smaller entities, whether it's a transportation company, a medical equipment company, you're wearing so many hats as an entrepreneur and an owner that you don't have, I guess, the time to actually devote to business development. So
Yeah.
my company actually also supports the business development efforts because I said, well, I do business development for work. I feel like it's my passion. It's something I'm good at. So I was just start doing it for myself. So
Yeah.
that's what I started doing, and it's actually been doing really, really well. I'm glad that I have a service to provide as well to individuals, and I think probably the biggest compliment that I've had was from my daughter, 10-year-old daughter. She goes to aftercare, and she said, "Hey, Daddy, what's your podcast name? Because I want to show my friends." So
Yep.
that's my biggest probably compliment of just even doing this whole thing. To be honest, being in Florida healthcare, all of that. It's just that she wanted to be able to show her friends her dad. So, but yeah, this has been a journey. I enjoy it. I enjoy connecting with individuals, and it speaks to truly who I am as a person overall. I hope that my vision in regards to opening up a podcast media platform. I hope
You're breaking up a little bit. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. You gotta move. Yeah, I can hear you. Mm-mm. Still going in and out. So I know the social media platform that he's on, and he has CMC, um which is his media company. So talk to us about your media company one more time.
Okay, yes. Confirmation Consulting, CMC Media. I apologize to all the audience out there that saw this all these I guess issues with my audio and everything. But CMC Media, check us out on YouTube. We
Yes,
also on Instagram as well. Confirmations Consulting on Facebook. Check also you can view my profile, Norman Harris, on LinkedIn as well. So I hope to see you all someday. I hope I can provide a knowledge and resource that can benefit you or your family.
absolutely. And just like you, how you say you share it like 3 and 4 times. So I want you to read this comment because she just put it. She said that's okay because we're still here. See, they still here, Nora. Don't worry about it. We got you, family. I promise you, we got you. And so we're gonna I'm definitely gonna make sure that I put it every time that I mention this episode, like your the socials and how to contact you will be there. I want you guys to reach out to him because I know every family can benefit from the services that he offers. If you are interested in starting a podcast, definitely, reach out to us. We have a plethora of knowledge when it comes in to that arena. We definitely can help you with that. Um, there's so many resources out there. There's so many unique and dynamic people, here. And my job, just like Norman's job, is to connect you with those people, those resources. So I will definitely put in the comment section when it goes on YouTube, when it goes on Facebook, IG, and your favorite podcast platform. We'll definitely make sure that we tag you and put you in the right direction to be able to reach out to Norman. And so this has definitely been episode 155 of the Jazzy Conversations with Jazz podcast. Save the date. November 8th is the 4-year podcast anniversary live show. And I will be making a few announcements about who's going to be the person in the interview seat and the performances, different vendors that are going to be there. Norman, I got to have you in the building this year. All right.
All right.
So I'm going to make sure it happens so that my guests get to meet you in person. Bring the family, like just come fellowship. It's a great place to network. It's a great vibe. Like we have fun all year or each year. It's just a vibe. It's an experience, right? And so I definitely want you to be in the building. So November 8th, save the date, save the date, save the date. And so
Gotcha.
this has been, go ahead.
I got you. I'm gonna save it.
All right, all right. And so definitely make sure that you follow us on social media. All platforms, it's Jazzy Conversations with Jazz. That's Jazzie. Conversations with Jazz, Facebook, IG, YouTube, TikTok. We're everywhere. Make sure you follow us on your favorite podcast platform. And then make sure you are definitely following Norman Harris. You can follow him on his personal page. That's at Norman Harris. Make sure you are following CMC Media. Make sure you are following Comfort Measures LLC. Definitely tune in to the Let's Get Comfy podcast make sure you catch up on all of those episodes, because you will get a plethora of knowledge from different individuals. Some of them are not all in the healthcare industry, but they are offering you entertainment. But the focus is on resources dealing with healthcare. And so you will be able to learn about things that you would not necessarily get from any other platform. So he has the hub there. He has information. All right. The number one edutainment, healthcare edutainment podcast out there. So make sure you tune in, keep them at number one, show your support, pop some bottles again, Norman, when you go to that that conference. We know you're gonna do your thing at the
Florida Healthcare Conference. Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
I'm so excited for you. So I know
Thank
you're gonna
you.
take pictures. I know you're gonna have great and dope visuals. So I cannot wait, and I will definitely be sharing that with my audience as well.
Thank you so much. Thank you for your support continuously, and I appreciate your audience and you sharing the platform as well, giving me this opportunity. Thank you.
Absolutely. And it won't be the last time. Trust me, it will not be the last time. All right. So we will see you back here next Monday. Make sure that you tune in. Make sure you tag someone in the comments. Make sure you share this episode with someone that it will benefit. And thank you so much for being a part of my Jazzie crew. Remember, I believe that you can come back from anything with God, the right resources, knowing how to use those resources effectively, and your willingness to do the work. Follow that formula and you will definitely be on your way to get your dope comeback. I will see you later. Have a good night.